I have to admit that I underestimated the Bucs' ability to score last week in what was kind of a windy Buffalo stadium there, but I also overestimated the Tampa Bay defense. By the same token, I look at the Rams; they kind of got away with one on many levels against Seattle. So I was kind of wrong on both games. I had the under in that Buffalo game, so I looked at this and I said, well, I can be talked into either side, but I have to question the Bucs mindset right now. All injuries aside, I mean, they went from having a firm grasp on the NFC South to being a half game ahead of Carolina. They still have to play them twice, and lost three or four. Rams have won five straight. So, and maybe look at that Seattle game as a division outlier. I mean, they did pick off Donald four times. So, we know their defense is still elite. In fact, they're the number two scoring defense behind your Texans, Munaf. And well, I don't think either team's going to have a lot of luck running the ball. I mean, it's going to come down to the quarterback play. I know most games do come down to quarterback play, but I think this is magnified here due to good rush defenses on both sides of the ball. So Stafford or Mayfield? Well, I have to take the one that's having an MVP here, Stafford. I mean, the Rams have the better defense, undoubtedly the better coach in McVay. I mean, I want to think Tampa Bay is capable there, but you got the travel. So I really do want to take Tampa Bay just because it looks too easy. But I got to go Rams. I mean, the Bucs are in some ways desperate, if you will, and I think that could work against a guy like Baker. He's great when things are going his way. His mistakes come when he's under pressure, and I think he will be. I mean, McVay will have he'll do everything he can to make Baker and Baker beat him alone. And without all his weapons, I don't think he can. So I am a Los Angeles Rams fan in this one, guys.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a bounce back game here for Stafford, at least from a statistical perspective, right? Because it wasn't something we're used to seeing last week against the Seahawks, whose pass defense is well above average this season, and they were able to do enough. Fortunately, that the Seahawks missed the game-winning field goal there against the Rams, but only 130 yards for Matthew Stafford in that game against the Seahawks last week. But more importantly, we saw what Josh Allen was able to do against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week in six total touchdowns, and I'm expecting Stafford to be right back as baseline of at least 250 passing yards, three passing touchdowns in this game, and the backfield has really struggled for the Buccaneers. They've tried to piece it together. We saw Sean Tucker have a pretty good game against the Bills, but that rush defense for the Bills has not been very good, at least over the last 3 weeks. And you mentioned the weapons that are unavailable for the Buccaneers, and Baker Mayfield maybe come back down to earth a little bit. For this Rams team is now the Super Bowl favorite, and they're a favorite for a reason there. And I think at all three phases for this Rams team, I mean, they've been playing some incredible football. So, that NFC West, I think is going to come down to the final week. I mean, don't count the Seahawks out, don't count the Niners out of it either. It's going to be a fun race to watch, but at least for this game, I'd be with you, Uncle Dave, on the Rams -6.5 here. Mac, any thoughts? I know you're very familiar with this Rams team and that NFC West division, but what were your thoughts on the Rams against the Bucs this week?
Yeah, I haven't had a best bet against my 49ers many times in my pregame life, but I did it with the Rams 49ers, and that game and the game after, I continue to think this is the best team in football. But digging into it more, I agree with you more and more. Just looking at my cheat sheet here with all the metrics I have on it, are we sure Tampa Bay is even like an above average team? Like if you look at pregame's fourth quarter win share on the season, every fourth quarter, if you weight their likely chance to win, they're a 500 team. They have a 48% projected win share. They are much better than that because Baker Mayfield's had a few, last second drives. But all right, that's not necessarily something you can count on, especially in a game where you're, significant underdogs. On offense, they're 16th, the Buccaneers, by my non-turnover EPA metric. Defense, they're 15th. Especially because the Falcons have gone down and they're not getting up. The Panthers, I expect to return to 500 after they lose to my 49ers. The Bucs don't really need this game, and I don't really think they're equipped to go out and try to get it. So, yeah, I think the Rams continue to roll as the new Super Bowl favorites. I think they deserve that designation, and I think they win here. I think it's a good pick.